All right, it is 2 o'clock, and I think it's time we got started. Let's change this over. Hopefully, everything works this time. I've been doing a lot of troubleshooting on this, and my poor computer's chugging right now, so I gotta figure out what's taking up all those resources. Hello, creatives. How are you? I'm so glad to be back. This is going to be our second coloring with Mina. I'm Mina. Hi. Hello. Um, yeah, this should be pretty fun. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put it right into chat. We actually have a moderator this week. We have Elisa. Elisa's actually our in-house artist, and she is such an amazing manga artist. So yeah, we're actually pretty blessed to have her today. The other thing that I want to point out is that she's actually the one who does our line arts. She's just so talented. So just, make sure you say hi to Elisa right in chat, and she should be hopefully answering some questions and whatnot. So, really quick little tidbit, I guess, about myself. If this is your first time here, it's probably a lot of people's first times. It's my second time. My name is Mina. I'm a traditionally trained animator and illustrator. I have been in the art field for 12 years now, maybe something like that. And I've done a lot of stuff. I've had a varied art career for sure. But here I am. I am with OLO, and I'm very excited and very passionate about alcohol markers. So I'm really excited to show you guys some tips, some tricks, some techniques. And I just also want to come forward and just say that everything I do here is not right or wrong. It is just how I work, and the idea is just to kind of get used to working with alcohol markers and understanding the push and the pull of them. Um, Alcohol markers are actually a very forgiving medium, which is really nice. And if you are used to like working watercolor, you're used to like letting it dry and then come back to it, then you'll really enjoy it. Kim is watching from work. Thank you, Kim. Hi, hello, coworkers. All right, so if you guys haven't already, if you want to follow along, I do have the links to everything. If you go to the OLO Marker website, go into resources, that is where the free line art is that Elisa has done for us, and that's where we're going to work. So I think that's a pretty good intro. I think there's going to be some more people kind of coming in as we keep going. So I guess enough of me talking. Let's get into the artwork and have some fun, have some coloring. I'm very excited for this one. Strawberries were very tasty last week, but definitely looking forward to working with this one because I have a love of manga and anime and cartoons, and I worked as an animator, so that's kind of a whole oh my gosh, my little chat bot works. That's amazing. I've been trying to get this chatbot to work for the past week, and she didn't want to work, and now she's working. So, hey, you're gonna get some websites coming on up. So, say hi to chatbot. All right, enough of that. All right. So this is our line art for this week. This is a really, really beautiful piece. I love it. You have your really, really nice line weight variance here. So we have a really good indicator of where all of our light sources are basically going to be. So you'll see in some underparts, they go a little bit thicker, which is sort of our indicator of where we want to use our darker colors. This week, much easier than last week for sure. We're going to be using our colors of the month colors, just 3 colors. And this was picked out by Nichol Spohr. She's a really amazing crafter. And if you love paper crafting, she's someone you should definitely follow here on YouTube. But these colors are BG 2.1, BG 2.3, and BG 2.7. These guys are all in the same color family, blue-green. And they're all relatively close to each other, but notice how they vary. So we're going to use that to our advantage this week. So I have the pack right here. This is still available. It will be All the colors of Mother are available. It's just we only really feature whatever is available. So I have over here, I actually have the colors out. Yay, hooray. We're going to be using mostly brush. We will use some of the chisel as well. We got to give that chisel some love. So we will be using these guys. We're also going to be using the zero. So we're going to be doing a little bit of blending to push and pull. And this week, I don't actually think we're going to be using black, like, at all. I don't think. I might change my mind. I never know from art piece to art piece. So here we go. What is going to take the longest here is going to be the hair, for sure. Otherwise, skin, eyes, we all love doing eyes. The eyes are going to definitely, they're going to be fun. Just going to be fun. So we're actually going to start off with the eyes. And I know I said earlier, hey, you don't want to start off with things that you really love. You want to work on the things that are a little bit harder first. But it's my show. We're going to do what we want. So we're going to start off with just our soft blue-green 2.1 here. I do have my little swatch paper on the side. Always make sure you have some kind of swatch paper with you, preferably in the paper that you're using. So you know what the color is going to look like, the way that it bleeds. So I'm going to put that right here. And let's go ahead and get going. And you guys might notice this, I actually have a little face cam on the bottom now, so you can see it's a little less awkward. So I'm just going to swatch my blue-green 2.1. And this guy's sea glass. This is one of my favorites. So pretty. And we're going to start off with the eyes. So for this one, we're actually going to start on the iris. I'm going to start on the bottom. And I'm just kind of dabbing. I'm not going to color in the pupil. We're going to leave that for our second round through. And I'm not going to do one eye at a time. I'm actually doing both at the same time. So when I go and I lay down a color on one side, I'm going to do it to the other as well. That's actually the truth when it comes down to drawing eyes in general. Just make sure you're drawing both at the same time so you don't have one beautiful eye and one eye that looks a little funky. I have drawn many a funky eyes. So there we go, just dabbing. And I think what I want to do is I want to get darker up top. So I'm actually going to jump right into my darkest here, the blue-green 2.7. This guy is Peacock. There you go, right there. Woohoo. I love that they have the names right on the sides. So nice. All right, so we're going to pull out our brush end and we're going to start at the top, just gentle dabbing. I'm going to make sure not to end up in the white shine of the eye. This is manga, so we're going to have lots of shines in the eye. And again, I'm doing one side and then the other. That feels pretty good. Now notice that I have a couple options here with manga. So we do have a white area here. I could choose to keep that and just basically use that dark blue as a shadow. We're going to blend it though. We're going to blend it, and we're going to blend it with our mid color. And of course I forgot to swatch. That's just me. All right, here's our Peacock. We're going to get our mid-tone, our BG 2.3. This one is our Aqua Green. Now, Nicole said when she picked these out, she's just she loves blue greens. I'm a sucker for blue greens too. So this is our mid-tone. We're going to go in between these two, and we're just going to very gently dab. And what we're doing, so I said last time that lighter colors beat up darker colors. They do. They push them around. And that's why alcohol markers are so forgiving. So as I do this, you're going to see that it's going to start to bleed into one another. And with very little effort, we now have a nice little fade. Cool. Now, for the inside of the eye, the pupil, I actually am going to stick with that mid-tone. So we're going to grab our 2.3 yet again, the same one we used to blend. We're going to go right inside. We're going to dip on the bottom though. So I'm following the curve of that pupil. There we go. Very curved. Beautiful. And now we're going to get one of my favorites, our zero. Oh my gosh. And you notice I have a handle on mine because I use the zero a lot. like a lot. There we go. I'm gonna open this guy up, and this one happens to be the chisel. I told you we're gonna give some chisel love today. And right where the paper touches our color, I'm just going to start dabbing. When you get the squeak, you know it's good. And I'm just very gently just dabbing at that, and what that does is that is going to reactivate that alcohol and that dye, and it's going to start pushing that, and we're going to start to get some mid-tones in there that were not there before. I also have a bell in mind, so I apologize. Sometimes if you lose a marker, you gotta know where it is. So if it's in the couch, I can hear the jingle. All right, so that's gonna do it for the eyes. Let's quickly get some of this skin sort of figured out, and we're gonna yet again use our lightest blue-green here. So we're gonna go back to our sea glass. And what I'm gonna do here is we need to understand, hey, where's the light source coming from? Now, this one, it's kind of simple. We're actually going to be going right from the top. So the brightest areas are going to be on the top of the head, the tip of the nose, some parts of the fingers here, but that's also going to cast a lot more shadows. So like where the hair is, we're going to have some cast shadows under the nose, the top part of the lip, inside the hands are going to be our shadows. And we're going to kind of accommodate for that with just our lightest tone. You know, we don't need to go totally dark right from the beginning. All right, so let's do this. So I'm actually going to start right under the hair, and what you're going to see is I am not worried about getting this color in the hair. Not even a little bit. Because this is basically going to act as our buffer or our shadow. And we are adding volume to the face because coloring is adding volume. Oh, sorry. I just hit the microphone. All right, so going under the eyes, and I'm just very gently kind of dabbing and pulling. Dabbing and pulling. We're going to get the under part of the nose. Just a little dab there. You'll see if I bring this a little closer, you can see it kind of naturally fades itself. Love it. Absolutely adore it. All right, so follow the curve of the hair. We're going to connect that under the eye. We'll even do the white part of the eye because the eyelashes are also going to cast a shadow. Our eyeballs are round. All right, looking pretty good. Let's very gently do the top lip because our top lips are in shadow. The way our lips are put together is the top part is technically facing downward, whereas our bottom lip is facing up. So our top lip is going to cast a shadow. So I'm going to do that very gently. And you can shape this lip to basically be whatever you want. Elisa gave us a lot of room to play around with these features. I'm going to go and put a little dimple where she's smiling. Very cute. Get underneath there. Now we more or less have her face figured out. Let's do the same thing with her hands. So with the hands, it's going to be more shapes. We're going to use the shapes that are here to help us bring this all together. All right, so all this is going to be in shadow because the fingers up top are going to be blocking the light. So that's why being aware of that light source is so important. Kim says, I love me some Nichol. I agree. It's, she's so talented. There's so many great ideas and just such a, like a professional, but very kind and sweet demeanor. I love her work. She's so cool. I want to be her when I grow up, says the woman who's 35. So what I'm doing is the under part, the round part of the fingers here, if I show you here, if you look at the cast, I have a hard light pretty close, but you'll see that the under part is going to be in shadow. So that's what I'm working on right now, is we are just making these fingers look a little more rounded. By just accounting for that under part. Here we go. And I'm just very gently dabbing. I'm not like mashing or anything, just a little whoop, whoop, whoop. That's what I'm going to say from now on whenever I'm coloring. We're just going to go, oh yeah, just go, you know, go whoop, whoop, whoop on there. It'd be great. All right, let's get the under part of this arm. Very gentle. Now this requires quite a bit of control in doing this, because you'll notice I'm going kind of fast. I don't tend to, if I move this aside for like 1 second, what you're going to see is I don't tend to do like little circles and builds. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different texture. When I need something to be a little bit lighter and to have like a really good flow, I'm going to do really fast strokes. And I do that in an arc. There's a couple ways of doing it. So if you're a traditional painter or traditional illustrator, you were taught using your elbow to pivot. And you're going to use that arc as your natural arc. When you work on smaller pieces like this, you're going to be using your wrist to do it. So I'm not moving my fingers so much as I'm using my wrist as an anchor point. And when you do that, you have more control because you know like where that arc is going to go. I keep hitting my mic. Okay. All right, that's looking pretty good. We're going to make sure that we also get our sleeves. So any area that is in light and is close to a fold is going to naturally have a darker shadow. So same thing like fingers. We were talking about fingers. So for the most part, looks great. But the moment I bend, you start to see those darker shadows. Because, you know, our world is not built around lines. So, you know, we just have to account for that and, you know, understand that. So like in here, some of these areas are going to be a little bit darker than others, but at this point, that's kind of just picking hairs. So, all right, I guess I've avoided it long enough. Let's work on the hair. The hair is going to be the most challenging part of this entire piece and is probably going to take up a majority of this. So let's close our marker. For this, as I said, our light source is coming from above and straight down. So what I'm going to do is on the bottom parts of the hair here, including my bangs, is we're actually going to start off with our darkest. So we're going to go right back to our Peacock, which is BG 2.7. So let me roll my sleeves. So we're about to get serious. This is where the like the real technique comes in, because all of this you can get it pretty simple, but the hair is, I'm not gonna lie, it's given me the most amount of trouble when it comes down to creating. I actually had to watch a lot of videos of Elisa working in order to even get it remotely close to the beautiful way she renders. So let's do it. So for this one, we actually do need to be very careful about our bleed. And these guys, as you know, OLO markers, they're juicy. They have a lot of juice. So you can barely touch the page and you'll get a beautiful line. So, all right, enough of me talking. I'm sorry. Let's go. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to start with my curve. And I'm going to just follow the way the hair is lying. So I'm starting from the bottom and pulling up. And I'm doing that so that way we get this this area here that looks like a brush stroke. We're basically doing brush strokes to get that feeling of the hair. Let's do this side too. And what I might do, okay, this a really small strand. Again, very gentle here. Very gentle. There we go. Okay. Ooh, very gentle. Get it on in there. If you go outside the line, don't worry. You can always go in with your colorless blender or your lightest color and push it back in. But we want to try and minimize that if we can. I've been quoted as being a very messy artist because I'm an animator, so I live inside the idea of gesture drawing, so all of my lines tend to be very fast and chaotic. This has been a really good practice to just slow myself down. You don't have to be in a rush to create artwork unless you're trying to do it in 1 hour over a live stream in front of some wonderful, wonderful creatives. Okay, hey, this is not looking too bad. We're still following that little curve. I'm just filling in what I need. Let's follow that curve. There we go. Okay. Hey, not bad. Not bad. So far, she looks like she has white hair and she's got a really cool thing happening with her bangs. Why not? Very fun. Wow, chat is very quiet this week. I mean, that's fine. You guys are, y'all good. Y'all good. I love it. If you guys have questions or anything, please feel free to, to put that in the chat. Elisa and I do not bite. Well, I do, but Elisa definitely doesn't. She's so sweet. Elisa is our moderator today, and she's also the one who made this artwork. She's incredibly talented. Okay, we have that. We're gonna move down to these guys and get these guys laid out. Same process. Notice I'm like barely touching the page on this one. And we're just following that curve. It's very similar to the motion you do if you're inking. So inking is when you have a lining pen or, a black marker. And it's how you make line arts like this. These are very similar motions to that because you have to have that energetic line to help bring that character to life. There we go. Very nice. Okay. But, oh, Elisa, you're so welcome. All right, so I'm getting a little quiet. I'm coming back around. Don't worry, I'm coming back around. Even in these brushstrokes where I'm bringing it higher, notice I'm still following all that groundwork that was already put there with the line art here. Good line art makes all the difference. If you're doing like a painting style, makes all the difference. All right, let's do the other side. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Kim says, sorry, I was just checking my account to make sure I have these colors, and I do. Oh, good. You mean you have the best colors? Love it. These are so good. And I'm going to show you something towards the end of the stream that is pretty darn cool, because yes, this is with these colors of the month, but I challenge everybody to just kind of grab your OLO markers and pick out a couple colors and just do a piece with those colors. Don't go crazy, don't overwhelm yourself. Like, a good piece of artwork does not need to have every color. It doesn't need to have 128 colors. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, my nose is running. Most really good pieces have a basis in 3 colors. So this is just such a great practice for that. And you suspend your disbelief, because at the end of the day, what matters is you have a piece that you enjoy doing and looks good. Oh my goodness, sorry. What's funny is because I have like a lot of lights around me right now to try and be bright. This one's colors are beautiful. Yes, they are absolutely beautiful. I have so many lights around me right now that for some reason, whenever I stream here, and then I also do my own personal stuff. My nose always starts running. Does anyone else have that problem where you're like, nah, I'm good, and then your nose is like, blah, 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 which is especially fun when you're trying to talk to people about like artwork. All right, I'm actually going in. So this is all underneath. So I'm actually just gonna go and do like a general fill here. We're just gonna fill that up. Boop ba doop ba doop. Okay. Ooh, so cute. Isn't she adorable? Oh my god, she's so cute. I'm just gonna grab a tissue like really fast. Hang tight. 1 second. I should have thought of this before. But hang tight, hang tight. I can't wait. Get an email like, how did your stream go? I'm like, oh, it's fine. I just put, boogers all over my artwork while I was working. Good. Yeah, it's a good art lubricant. Don't do that. Oh, such a goober. All right. Okay, so we have a lot of the under part. We're gonna go to our midtone now. We're gonna go back to our Aqua Green. This is BG 2.3. And we're gonna follow, same thing. We're gonna follow those lines. This one you can be a little looser with because it is lighter. So this one, just let it roll. As long as you're following what's there, it'll look good, I promise. I'm using like the edge of my brush. I'm not using like the finer points. So I'm not worrying. The one thing you have to realize about me is when it comes down to coloring, for some reason, I don't really worry. Like I probably should. But I get on myself more about line art than I do coloring. Coloring for me is I wouldn't say I was ever really good at it. I'm always going to be a student. I'm a professional student. The casualties of live streaming. Oh my gosh, right? I've seen some pretty bad fails on live streams, and I kind of had that same like wave of anxiety hit me right before I went live here, and I was like, what if something goes wrong? I'm like, why did I never consider this could all go very wrong? And my nose just starts running everywhere. Oh, goodness. All right, so what I'm doing is, what you guys might be noticing is I'm literally starting from bottom and just pulling upwards. So you're like doing the opposite you would do with your own hair. Like when you brush it, you brush down. No, I'm just brushing up because we're going from dark to light. And like I was saying, I never really get on myself about coloring, which I really think I should. But for me, like coloring is such a nice break just from like everything else that I do. There are some days that I love that we do these live streams now, because there are some days where I will be editing a video and I will literally hit a wall and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm kind of like, I don't know how to make this video like seem fun or seem educational, or it's just not hitting the notes that I want. So what I'll do is I'll literally sit down and I'll practice coloring for the stream. And after I'm done doing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I've like cleared out my brain. because I kind of just sat down and started throwing down some colors and stopped worrying about it so much. So for anyone that has anxiety around coloring or creating artwork, it has to be perfect. It doesn't. It does not need to be perfect. Just like we have casualties on stream, we have casualties in art. You know, Elisa will probably tell you the same exact thing. She probably has, oh my gosh, Elisa has so much artwork that she does. Um, but it kind of comes to a point where, like, am I enjoying this? Is this fun? If it's not, then we need to like rework a couple things. Okay. So I've kind of filled in a lot of stuff. Now, what's really great about the OLO, or just alcohol markers in general, is they have a natural spread, and OLO has like a really nice, they're juicy, so they spread so nicely. As long as you're following the grain, meaning for me, I'm following, hey, the way that this hair is moving, you're gonna get a really nice, even color. So it's nice. You notice I left a lot of this white, and I did a little bit inside here because we have the part, again, just like when we have our hands. When you fold, you're going to have darker areas. The same thing is for our hair. Coloring is relaxing for me too. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I don't know if you get on yourself about line art the way I do, Elisa. I get to a point where I'm like, all right, I can't do this. But coloring, there's something about it, especially when you have your colors picked out already. All right, so your hand. So for example, when I fold it, you have those natural dark parts. The same thing for the part. So anything that's sort of coming together, you're gonna have some darker areas there, and you're just following the way it was laid out. That's it. Like, line art's fun like that. It's all the answers are kind of there, and it's how you push it. Okay, we have our mid-tone. Let's go to our lightest. Who saw that coming? So we're going back to our sea glass, and we're gonna go in nice up here, I think. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Let's see what we can do. Yes, let's do this live, right on stream. It's such a great idea. I love coloring at night. Oh my goodness. Kim, you and I, we're best friends. I do most of my work at night. All right, light color. All these areas where we have that white touching, we're gonna use this to bridge that. So I'm gonna start by going from bottom up, and then we're gonna switch it. And when you hear the squeak, you know it's good. And again, I'm following just like this is the way I'm pretty sure the hair is gonna lay out. So that's what I'm gonna follow. All right, same thing where the bangs are. Squeak, 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 squeak. So this hair right here, I feel like we need a little darker right there. We have a little there, but let's go ahead because this is sort of shaping the bangs. So we're gonna let ourselves kind of let that come in and be a little bit darker. Maybe this one, sort of bring that in. So what we're doing is we're just kind of making that that shine in the hair you tend to see in manga. We're just doing that, you know, we're using the paper for it, so that way it kind of like pops it out. Looking pretty good, and we actually, wow, I made okay time with that. So this area looks a little chunky. So there's two ways of looking at this area here. You can look at it as she has layered hair. You can do that. Oh, long messages. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I need to. Oh, Kim, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. That's my chatbot. I'm still figuring out the darn thing. Technology. I will fix that on the next stream. My chatbot will not be so mean to people, so I'm so sorry. No need to be sorry for anything. I'm sorry that my chatbot's so rude. All right, I'm sorry. All right, this area here. we are going to go ahead. We're going to grab our dark color again because now it's basically dried. So we're going to put down more, and that should make our pigment a little bit darker. And we're going to be a little careful with this now because we're not doing a fill. We're doing detail. So I'm going to start from the bottom here, and I'm going to kind of trail it upwards. Now again, you want to be careful with this one. This one you do need to have some like nice accuracy with it. And we're just gonna follow that. You don't need to go crazy. You don't need to fill in every single part. We're just doing pieces because hair is multi-dimensional. I do promise I will have this chat bot like whipped into shape for sure. Last week I got a lot of feedback about addressing chat and stuff, and we want to do that for sure, but I also want to make sure I don't get derailed too often. That's not you guys at all. That is all me. So I figured, hey, let me put a chat bot in place that can like add a lot of the stuff that I would normally put in, and then we'll also have a moderator, and then everything will be great. And then the chat bot didn't work, and now chat bot's all like, nope. Now I'm gonna work in the middle of your stream. Real life stuff. All right, so we're just accenting. Woohoo! How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing very nice on time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna do little dips right here because I do want to have a little stronger of a contrast. There we go. A little bit right here. Nothing too crazy. Very soft. We're going to grab our mid-tone, our 2.3 Aqua Green. And where we put, you see how this one's like a little kind of like ragged? She doesn't have ragged hair. We want to make her look nice. So I'm going to blend it with our mid-tone. So yeah, you make a mistake, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Grab your mid-tone, blend it. That's words to live by. Oh no, I made a mistake. Grab your mid-tone, blend it. All good. More than good, great. I swear if I was ever a college professor, the students would just come out being like, what did I just learn? Like, all right, here we go. Okay, there we are. That's not bad. This area here could use a little more work. I am gonna move on for now. If we have a little time at the end, we'll go back to it because I definitely would like to smooth this out a little bit more. It's a little rougher than I would like, but hey, lighter colors bully the darker ones, so we can always just go in and push it back. Why do I always make sound effects? And now my nose is running again. It's everyone's fault. Everyone else's fault. It's not mine. All right, so for our shirt, we're going to do something a little different. I like doing different things. So we're going to do a design on the shirt. I decided that I'm going to do little hearts. We're going to use our mid-tone for this one because I'm going to have some areas where I'm going to want to get darker, but then also areas I want it to be lighter shirt. So we're going to use the lighter marker for some of our shadows. But this our mid-tone, our beautiful, beautiful mid-tone. Our aqua green is going to be used to make hearts on the shirt. And we're just going to start right here. I'm just going to do 2 little dots and bring it down. And what's fun about shirts is don't make the hearts perfect. Don't do it. Because what we want to do is we actually just want it to move with the shirt. So we're going to have some areas where it's like, oh yeah, and then pull it off on the side. Especially when you have all these folds here. We're gonna cheat is what we're doing. If you can cheat, cheat. There we go. Again, I'm not going for perfection. I'm going for design. I'm going for, hey, do you understand? Does it make sense? Do you see it? Do you love it? Do you want a shirt like this? I do. 2 dots. Pull it in. If you go and you follow Elisa's Suzuki, oh my god, Elisa Suzuki, I talk for a living. If you follow Elisa, our moderator today on Instagram, she is wonderful to watch color. She's very clear and concise, and just everything she does, the choices she makes, you're like, yeah, nope, I get it. So a lot of what I'm doing here is literally stolen from her. So I can't take any kind of, I can't take any sort of credit for really any of this. Here we go. Get one solid one, and this one kind of be off a little bit. Okay. There we go. I'm getting lost in little heart-like shapes. They don't even really look like hearts yet, and that's fine. Let's round out some of these bottom portions. There we go. Make them a little more heart-like. I feel like I'm like following this pattern, and I'm like, oh wait, did I put a heart there? I don't even know. All right. I feel like there should be one there, but like there isn't, so I'm just gonna put one there instead. All right, cool. We have our design. So now let's actually add some dimensionality to it. Mid-tone going away, lightest tone coming back out. So we have our sea glass BG 2.1 again. Let's put our shadows in. And we're going to do that right over what's here. So our folds. I also would like the shoulders to be in shadow. Like, even though, yes, the light's coming from up above, but the hair's here. So what's going to happen with the hair being there is we're going to have a shadow. So a good part of our shoulders are going to be in shadow. Not that I would know, that's like my long, luxurious locks. There we go. All right, so we're also going to add a little shadow to the under part of where her breasts would be. Nothing too crazy. Shadow there, and then under here, because it's folding in. There we go. And again, I'm just doing that dabbing motion with some of those areas I want to be a little bit darker. Bottom part of the sleeve. Have that come out. How are we doing? Oh, we got 15 minutes. That's excellent. I'm probably actually going to finish this one. I am amazed. I went ahead and I did like 2 of them before this. All right. Okay. Looking a lot more like a shirt. Oh, we do have this part here because it is actually a part. We're going to color our buttons in too. Ooh. Get kind of the under part. And now I'm going to grab our darkest. So we're going back to our Peacock. I'm going to make little buttonholes. A little extra. We're also going to say use the sky, our darkest again. So the cinch here, the belt, go right in the middle. And on the top there, here we go. And we're going to grab our mid-tone, our amazing mid-tone. And I think for this, I'm going to use the chisel end. I'm going to use the edge here. What's cool about our chisel, and this is what you want to use the chisel for. You need to fill a large flat area, use the edge of the chisel. Because it is going to smooth right out, and it's a lot less work. What I love about this paper, what I love about Express It paper, which is what I'm using, is you get this really cool effect on here. It's like the speckling, it kind of makes it look like watercolor, but it adds such a nice blend. Like the way it just spreads and you get that speckling, it's one of the really cool things about working not just with markers, but traditionally by hand. You don't really get this when you work digital, and I have a lot of experience working digital. All right, let's do the chocolate. Chocolate. Very tasty. So we're actually going to start this off with our lightest here. So let's go in with our sea glass. We're going to use our wonderful little brush end. And all these areas that are underneath, because this is a chocolate bar that you would like break apart and eat, except that she has decided that she's just eating the whole thing. So we're going to make our squares here, or rectangles, or just chocolate pieces. Let's just fill that in. Let's add the shadow from her teeth. Okay. I think we have a lot of those now filled in. All right, we're going to go straight in with our darkest, our Peacock. We're going to grab our brush here. And for this, what we're going to do is we're actually going to mark off the top left corner of all of our chocolate pieces, making sure that it's touching our sea glass, but still following that same design. All right, because now you can see it's starting to pop it up. It's starting to look like it's actual chocolate pieces. We are going to grab our mid-tone now. We're getting our Aqua Green using our brush. We're going to grab our bottom part here. There we go. All right, it's looking more and more chocolatey as we go, even though it's green. Again, go back in with our peacock. Just dabbing. We're going to go and get some of those shadows in there so we can further just push this out. And this, very, very gentle. Very gentle, just like a little doot, 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 like really, really gentle. You want this to barely touch the page, because we don't want too much of a bleed happening here. Let's also go in and do the wrapper. I'm just going to do that in our darkest tone here. There we go. I'm even gonna, like, the chocolate bar is not that long, but I'm just going to extend it out so it pushes the hands out a little bit more. Gentle, gentle, gentle. All right, let's grab our lightest tone. Again, going back in with Sea Glass. We're just gonna run this over our edges. And if we really want to, like, make this funny, we could put chocolate on her face. Like, we could totally do that. No one said we can't. I mean, Elisa technically could say no, don't do that. I don't think she would, though. I'm pretty sure Elisa would be like, that's kind of funny. Let's maybe make this a little foily. And I'm going to do that just by adding, like, triangles with the lightest tone. There we go. So it's not the world's most perfect chocolate, but hey, it looks more like chocolate now, which is kind of great. My nose is still running. This whole stream is just me complaining about my nose running. All right, so let's, there's something I really want to add. I'm gonna grab my mid-tone again, so we're going back in with our Aqua Green. I'm gonna give her freckles. She looks like she would be a freckle girl. Very light dabs, because we don't want them to all be the same size or too big. Look at these little, oh, she's so cute. What a cutie. What a cutie patootie. And I just want to clean up the hair just a little bit, so I'm going to actually stick with my mid-tone. Let's go in here and just try and clean up a little bit of these guys. And I'm not too worried about perfection here. You just want to get the idea of hair. Because it's manga, it has a little more like free flow to it than, say, like a cartoon character would, but it's still not as like realistic as, say, like a full-on portrait. But you could still get a similar effect within a portrait as well. Depends on how you stylize it, really. All right. Here we go. And I think other than, I mean, we have the sleeve, not the sleeve, the collar there, which I didn't color. But I think that just about does it. We've kind of colored the whole thing. There are things that we could add in. I always like to add like a gel pen or white gouache or something in order to add highlights. We're not going to do that on here. I am going to grab another tissue though. Oh my goodness. Note to self, I need to keep tissues by me during the next stream. What I do have here is, I actually did, I wasn't sure if I was going to complete this, because last week I didn't complete strawberries, which I promise we will get to a point where I will show you guys the completed strawberries, but just to show you how many times I've like done these and tried to practice getting these right. Yeah, but I do have something kind of cool to show you. I did do one of these already. So you can see where even doing it like very similar, I wasn't looking at this one when I was doing it, but you can get different effects. Like the eyes look radically different because I decided to go with darker on the bottom here and then put dark on the top of the pupil. So you can really play around with how that works. I went a little darker on my shadows. To be fair, I had a lot more time with this one than I did this one, but you can see where you can get like very similar looks, but very different. Same markers too. I also went ahead and I did a different one as well because I really like this. So I believe this was the February colors of the month. So I did it with these guys too, which is also very, very cute. So I want to show you guys that, yes, even though I did it with the March colors of the month, you can go and grab another one and still get a really cool looking piece. And this is my first attempts at doing this, so I went a lot darker in areas, whereas this one I started to just pull up and started to make it a lot like brighter. I was really leaning more into using the paper. So it really is a learning process, and everybody, you can do a piece a million times and it could still come out completely different. And there's so many different techniques out there. So I recommend everybody just watch people work. Like watch Nichol Spohr if you like paper crafting, because she's so amazing. Check out Elisa Suzuki on Instagram. She's our in-house artist. And she's wildly talented, but she's someone you really want to watch for the nuance and the really high-end technique, because she's the one who you're going to see it there just by watching. Biggest thing. So these are what I was doing. I don't have strawberries yet. I'm really sorry. I think I'm going to do a makeup stream for that where I finish the strawberries. I'm not 100% sure where we're going to go with it, but if you have an opinion, put in the comments. Let me switch back over to my face cam. Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. So I do have a couple things to talk about before we completely wrap up. First of all, just thank you. Thank you for spending some time with me and with us. The OLO team has been super supportive and amazing with all of this. So just thank you. Thank you, creatives, for all your feedback. Every bit of feedback helps us get better, for sure. I do want to talk about yesterday we did finally launch our sketchbooks. Very excited. I've had mine for a little while now, and they just came onto the market. So you can go to olomarker.com and check out our sketchbooks. The paper inside here is excellent. It's really creamy. It blends super well. And just to show you, like, it looks really nice. Just make sure, because with any paper, anytime you're doing any coloring with marker, you want to make sure you have a bleed page, because it will bleed and you're probably going to want to use every page in this book. But yeah, like, have fun. These guys are now available and they're, I believe, 2 sizes. I just checked it, but yeah, check these guys out. They're really great. I love this size personally because I can throw it in my like little bag, and I'll bring my little color of the month markers with me, and anytime it like hits me and I decide, hey, I want to color, I could just do it because I have my sketchbook. So super, super recommend checking those out on olomarker.com. I think there was one other thing I had to say, and of course I don't remember, because why would I ever have notes? What I will say is thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here. This is a lot of fun. We do stream on here every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we always try to have a piece of artwork ready to go. So next week's art is actually already up on the OLO Marker reference page. It is entitled Cat, and I'm very excited to do this one because I'm a very big fan of cats. But with that, if you guys have any questions or anything before we sign off, please go ahead and drop it in that comment section. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a really colorful day, and I hope this was a lot of fun. I definitely really enjoyed doing this, and I just like seeing all the different versions. So if you do this, please share it with us on our social media. We are on Facebook, we are Instagram, we are on TikTok, and of course we are on YouTube. You can shout us out by doing @OLO Marker. It is singular, not markers, but marker. Or you could do the hashtag OLO Marker and, just add us and show us what your artwork looks like. I love that stuff. All right, with that, it is 3 o'clock here on the East Coast. I will see you guys next week. If you have any recommendations, anything you want to see, please let me know. I will get back to you. Okay, bye. Bye, creatives.